what I have here is an original 1911 45. Now this one is a Remington Rand, but I love it. You know, United States property. This is an iconic pistol for a lot of people. This is, you know, one of the most iconic pistols ever. You know, I mean, it has a long history. For a lot of people, you know, getting one of these in original is just way out of the budget. But what I have seen, and if you follow me, you know I love the best bang for buck. I have been seeing this. This is the Tisas. This is their 1911 A1. Now, this one is the service. They have one that is identical to the original military, but the reason this caught my attention is the price that I kept seeing it on sale for. I think for a lot of people would be of interest. For a 45 ACP, it's about as low as they come, period, regardless of style. Other than High Point, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to throw that one in the mix, but I've seen one or two others that have actually come in less. But because it's the 1911, I've been dying to try one. You know, special thanks to Battlehawk Armory for sending me this to review. But I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison with the original, and from everything I can tell thus far, they are identical. I'm even going to try to switch the slides out and stuff and see how that works, but I am really curious, how well is this going to perform? You know, how well is it going to shoot? How does it compare to the original? What kind of accuracy can we get out of it? Reliability. And I'm standing out here. If you follow my channel, you know that, you know, I'm a little bit off in the head sometimes because I like to take a pistol and I like to push it. I don't know if we're going to be able to go 200 yards with this. We got 100 yards over here. We got 50 here. Let's just check out the Tisas. Not sure why we're doing that. Out, I'm getting something is either rubbing or kind of coming back. That was better. Getting some more of these jams. If you didn't catch it, this thing is heavy. Just like the original. One thing is, you run out of ammo, you can club with it because this thing is a beast, but that's also why I think the recoil and a lot of people really enjoy shooting this is because of its weight. So anyway, what I want to do now is there's nothing to zero. Let's just see what we can do with this at 50 up close, and let's just have some fun and put it to the test. Okay, so we are out of the box. We did the specs and tech. Let's start having some fun. What I like to do is take it straight out of the box and see if we can hit steel down there at 50. If we can just do that straight out of the box, for me, that always says a lot here. We've got some AAC. We got a bunch of Full Metal Jacket we're going to try, and then once we get maybe broken a little bit and see where it's shooting, then I want to try some of the XTP. We get great results, or I have had great results with that, and see what we can get for groups. I always like to see what I can get for groups at 50 if we can. Anyway, let's see what we can do at 50 straight out of the box. People for self-defense prefer the 45. You know, they call it a man stopper. It is a huge cartridge. It's a huge bullet. You know, 230 grains. That's huge. I always think of it as like throwing a bowling ball at somebody versus, you know, poking them with a screwdriver like a 9mm, you know, or the 5.7 by 28, you know. It may be going slow, but nobody wants to have somebody toss a bowling ball at them. Okay, folks, here we go. Let's see what we can do at 50 straight out of the box. Seems to be aiming a bit on the low side. I'm aiming kind of at the head here. A little out of practice with the 45. Let's do a couple more. Let's try again. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'm just rusty. There we do have a failure to feed kind of hung up. All right. And not sure, is that a failure to feed? Yep, that was a failure to feed. All right. What I want to do now is, okay, we had 2 failure to feeds there. I want to take this apart. I noticed when I was showing the assembly, disassembly, that, you know, things weren't oiled really well. I'm going to clean the barrel. A lot of times on pistols, I will season the barrels. I'm not going to do it on the 45, you know, obviously 1 shot clean, 3 shots clean, because I just don't get accuracy out of the 45 to make it worth it. But let's do that, and then I want to sit on the bench and see what we get for groups, whether it's shooting really high or really low. Okay, so I got it cleaned, and, you know, when you take it down a few times, it really does get pretty easy. Now, one thing here I wanted to point out is I put a little bit of sight paint on there. My vision is not what it used to be, so iron sights are usually blurry for me, and without, you know, a bright fluorescent orange or something to grab my vision, we're going to see what we can get here at 50 yards. And I forgot to point out before the specs and tech, these are made in Turkey. Now, for anybody that's like, you know, guys, that's not the same as made in China. Okay, Turkey actually makes a lot of really quality firearms, and more every day. Anyway, enough talking. Let's see what we can do here. Now that flick back is because I'm benching it, and it's not the same as holding it out in front. When we're shooting for accuracy, we take a little bit lighter grip, and so it does appear to have more recoil, or, you know, some of you complain about limp wristing, but it is trying to get the most accurate shots we can. That was on the black. Show you what I'm seeing for a sight picture here. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. Let's take a look at those groups. Okay, that was, I think, the first shot out of the clean barrel, and then they kind of came down. You know, that's a 12-inch target. The 45 is, you know, not my preferred caliber for accuracy. I usually can do way better with a 9, but, you know, this really doesn't surprise me, especially with sort of the break-in phase. Let's take it back to the CQB range, get a whole bunch of lead down through that barrel, and then maybe come back and let's see what we can do with the XTP. So we're back here at the CQB range. This is going to be a more applicable distance for a 45. Let's just see what we can do. I noticed the second spring, or the second mag, was a little tight loading. I wonder if maybe on that first one where we had a couple of those failure to feeds. Let's just find out. I think I might start over here at the 25 and see what we can do at 25. Okay, well, hey, you know, that's pretty good. 25 yards iron sights for most people, that is going to be the farthest they would shoot anyway. Ooh, okay, let's see how we can transition at maybe 10, 15 yards to about 20 yards back there. You only got 8 shots. Right, guys, I'm out of practice with a 45. I've been pretty much just 9 mils. That was better. Okay, we did fail to go in there. Not sure why that's doing that. Doing it again. Okay, real quick, something I wanted to point out. I'm getting something is either rubbing or kind of coming back. I noticed when I'm choked up on this, darn son, you can kind of see that the hammer, and I don't know why I don't have that big of hands. I'm just used to trying to choke up as much as possible, and I'm coming up beyond that beaver tail, and I think the hammer is coming down and biting me, and that very well could just be, as some people would say, a personal problem, and maybe the way I'm holding it. Anyway, let's give you a different view here at the distance. Not sure why we're doing that. I know everybody that watches this is an expert. You know, I don't think I'm limp wristing it. Let's okay, this will be the last bit, and then we're at 100 rounds. Getting some more of these jams. Our failure to feeds, I don't know why they're doing that. Having way too many failure to feeds, in my opinion. So what I want to do is I want to try a different brand of ammo. You know, everything is oiled. I did the magazines, you know, I have seen that with magazines. So, you know, I kind of oiled them up, lubed them up, you know, so here's the Gecko in this one. And then we're going to try the XTP, the hollow points. You know, I've had great accuracy with these. Anyway, I'm going to go fix the target here, and let's see what we get for groups and see if we continue to have those failure to feeds. Pretty decent group. Let's take a look. You know, so that's actually not a bad group. Got two up here, two flyers, but the rest, well, I would not say palm size, but hand size. All considering, that's not too bad. Let's cover those up and let's try the XTP. We are definitely getting a consistent pattern of shooting to the left. So we may try to tap that dovetail just a little bit to the right. Okay, so what I did was I took just a little dowel and I just tapped this a little bit to the right, and I just shot another group here with the XTP. We didn't have any failure to feeds. Let's take hey. That's pretty good. Now my math isn't always the best, but I think I got more than 8 shots there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so somewhere one of my little black stickies popped off, but regardless, that is still way better. And that's actually pretty awesome. I'm happy with that. I think we're good enough. Now I want to go back to the steel and see what we can do at 50 and 100. So we've got the Gecko. Let's see what we can do here with the Gecko at 50 now with the adjustment on that. Okay, it failed to go into full battery there. Guys, I don't think I'm limp wristing it, and I don't know why. And then it goes into battery. Our accuracy certainly got better. Now I have noticed I'm getting, it's kind of sore here, a little tender. The beaver tail on this does seem to be a little bit different than my government issue, you know, my actual one from World War II era. Okay, so here's my government issue, and it feels different. It looks similar, but it's not, okay? Versus here, you see how it is digging down into my hand more. You do want to choke up on the gun as high as you can, but as you can see there, it's digging in. And here, it's not. Now, it may not look that obvious, but it's enough. I've shot this enough, and I've never had this happen before. Okay, about 4 days later, I just wanted to show you the end result of that. Now, everybody's got an opinion, and everybody's an expert on YouTube, but, you know, I've shot a lot of pistols, and I haven't had something like this happen before. I've shot my 1911. I do think that there's just an ever so slight difference in the angle on that beaver tail, and just the way I shoot and the size of my hand, you know, this was a result. I really am not sure how I could hold it different. Not too long ago, I did a review for Shell Shock on the EarPro iPro. It's a new company, and I have left these on, I don't know how long, and the battery still hasn't died. I'm really loving them. Both are exceptionally comfortable. If you're looking for some good EarPro iPro, check out that review. Also, I have a 10% discount code on there that you might be interested in. They are really hard to beat for the price and what you get. Let's fire off some rounds here. Make sure, compare-wise, and see if we have any failure to feeds with this. Now, my government one, I don't have the sight paint on there, and I cannot see that front sight post. Okay, well, I didn't hit much, but we still didn't have a failure to feed. No failure feeds. Here's a thought. Let's try this mag in that gun. I'd kind of notice this. If you look in there, that cartridge is sort of angled down. It shouldn't be. We didn't have one there. Nope. Hey guys, the wind picked up. I had to come inside. Anyway, we are having an unacceptable amount of failure to feeds, in my opinion. We are, I would think, past a reasonable break-in. I think I've gone about 250 rounds so far. Now, I know some guns, I can't remember which one, you know, needs like 500 rounds. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen on this one. But anyway, I reached out to the company, both email and phone call last week at the end of the week, and then also today. I'm going to give them another couple of days and see if they respond and see if they have any thoughts, and I guess we'll find out what kind of customer service they have, and I'll let you know what happens with that. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you found the review helpful and useful. If so, come check me out on YouTube under Beyond Seclusion. Until next time on Gun.Deals, happy shooting. Remember, educate our young people to shooting and gun safety. And every time we're on the range and we're shooting, that makes us ambassadors for the Second Amendment. So be a good ambassador, be a safe and responsible gun owner.